Hey everyone, welcome to the episode 2 of Hack It with Sid series, and I'm super glad to have you all here joining us tonight. Also, talking about what is the topic of discussion, we have Shruti Balasa joining us, and we'll be talking about your journey with web dev. Without wasting much of your time and considering the moment of truth, I'll quickly bring up on the stage Shruti Balasa. Hey Shruti, how are you?
Hi Siddharth, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good as well.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, pleasure is all ours. So, as you all already know, the topic of discussion is your journey to web dev with Shruti Balasa. And without actually jumping onto the topic, we will have a general introduction from both of us. So, I would like Shruti to go ahead first and introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Shruti Balasa from Bangalore, and I am a self-taught web developer, full stack web developer. I have an experience of about 10 years in this field of web dev, and currently I am a content creator, I'm a course creator, I'm a YouTuber, and mentor multiple things, because I like to juggle between too many things. At the same time, I'm also a mother of a 3-year-old, stay-at-home mother. That's a quick introduction of me. Thanks, Siddharth.
Definitely, I'm super amazed by the work you do, and you're one of my inspiration because the hard work and dedication which you put in, it's really accountable, and you're inspiration to many women as well out there.
Thank
Talking.
you.
So first of all, thanks a lot for accepting my invitation and joining us for Hack It with Six series.
Yeah, pleasure is mine.
Thanks a lot. Talking about me, as you all already know, this is my YouTube channel where we are streaming on Wednesday and Saturday, but Saturday is more focused on inviting guest speakers and talking more about their journey and what they do and other stuffs as well. And I'm currently a pre-final year student pursuing computer science and engineering, and I love to interact with community members. Helping my community and hackathons is what I do on a daily basis. Along with that, I'm also contributing to various student ambassador roles. For example, Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador. I recently got accepted into GitHub Campus Experts program as well. And that was all about me. And yes, so to start with, Shruti, we would like to know how was your journey been with respect to web development and how did you start it? What was your motivation which kept you running?
Okay, so recently on Twitter also I shared a thread of I'll start. Of where it started. So I got into a very premium college. I think the number one college in Bangalore for engineering, information science. But I had no clue why I chose that branch. It was just one of the top, right? You either go to electronics or computer science. That's how it
Yeah.
was. I had got a pretty good CET rank, CET in Karnataka, which was like I got a 399 rank. And I thought, great, so let me take up. Computer science was not available, so I took information science. Thought,
Hmm.
okay, let me see how this goes. And it went pretty great, engineering, too many realizations on the way, but nothing compared to what you are doing right now. I didn't involve myself so much into, hackathons or anything as such. I was more into, I got into another company which dealt with marketing and stuff. So I got my skills there. I was an introvert, but there I developed my, overall skills on stage,
Hmm.
speaking, marketing, selling, all of those. And finally, your placements came. I got placed in a very good company, Citrix, for about that time, 10 years ago, about 8.8 lakh per annum, which was a good thing for a fresher. Right? I said, great. So that was a quality analyst position, and I accepted the offer. And I thought, let me see how this goes.
Yeah.
And then simultaneously, I have a mentor, not a tech mentor, but somebody who coaches me overall, of my life decisions. He
Hmm.
said, I have a few ideas for, web apps. Would you be interested to take it up? I said, I have almost zero knowledge. Yes, I had two subjects on web development, HTML and CSS, but
Hmm.
apart from that, I don't know much about it. He said, you can learn along the way. Even I don't know. I said, okay, that sounds great. I like to learn anyway. And then that's where I started my self learning journey. And it was very hard because I had nobody else around me to guide at that point personally. So
Hmm.
all I had was internet and me. And those times, not many YouTube channels were also there. I think 10 years ago, right? But
Yeah.
somehow, reading the docs, reading some tutorials, so and so, I started learning, and that was along with my day job. So remember, 9 to 6, I was working. I would come back home and quickly finish my dinner, whatever other things I had, and I would sit probably by 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the night, and I would go on till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. Sometimes, some days, if it was very interesting, I would go on until 3 a.m. also. And some days, yeah, I would skip first half day of the job because I was sleeping. And things like that happened. Weekends, I would be very excited. Saturday, Sunday was off, so I could entirely learn. I would almost go into night shift, so until 6 a.m. also I have learned some days and continued my journey. So built a lot of web apps during this journey. And just 9 months into my job, I felt, that's it, I want to jump into web development right now. I
Hmm.
can't work for a company anymore. I'm not this person who's like an employee. I don't know, it just happened that I want to work on my own timings, my own terms, something like that.
Yeah.
So I quit my job. I got a lot of suggestions from people around, advisors saying, no, don't do this. You're doing this too early. Give it some more time.
Yeah.
This is an amazing chance. Not everybody gets placed into such a company as a, fresher. I
Hmm.
said, no, I have taken my decision. I think earlier the better, right? I'm
So
still
true.
single at this point of time. I don't have too many commitments, so I better take that risk right now. I might not be able to take it later. So
Hmm.
I jumped, I quit my job, and from directly from 9 lakh per annum, I came down to zero because I joined along with my mentor and few other people in the team. And we
Hmm.
started developing a lot of web apps. And to support our work mainstream, which was not yet earning, we took up a lot of client projects as well, delivered websites, so many backend modules, and a lot of small web apps for, I think, small and medium businesses, while learning on the way, along the way. So
Hmm.
that happened for almost 6 years. Our main work was Inspiration Unlimited e-magazine. So we spread only positive news. I was developing the backend of this whole magazine where people can, come in, submit their articles. We can publish, and there are a lot of authors. So multiple things like that, managing and all of that. So that entire web app was developed by me. Most of it, I think 90%, while hiring a few interns along the way. That was my journey for 6 years. Later, I took a maternity break, and I came back to it with some freelance projects, but slowly got introduced to course creation, and I felt I more belong here in this field. I'm good at teaching, so I also get to learn a lot of new stuff while I'm teaching. So why not do this? And here I am.
Wow, that's like an very great story one can hear.
A
And
long one.
yeah, definitely. But this, it generally seems like you have completed the same in around less than 10 minutes. But those 10 minute stories, like it contains a lot of hardship, dedication, struggles, and a,
Yes.
a mere determination at the same time, right? And absolutely, as Devish, as well mentioned in the chat, learning on the go. And thanks a lot, Devish, for joining in. So, Shruti, what was the thing which helped you kept going, and what was your motivation along the entire way of yours?
Okay, small term motivation, if I have to say, web development is something that gives you that instant dopamine. You add one line of CSS and you see a whole difference on the, web. So you write a line of code, switch the tab, and, you see something changing. So those instant things kept me going on a smaller level,
Mhm.
of course. But on the larger scale, I felt, I have the power to simplify somebody's life using technology, right? So
Mm.
if I see a small business or a medium business struggling with maybe bookkeeping, and they
Mhm.
don't have anything that can suit a small scale of their business, something as complicated as tally might not help them, but a
Mm.
very small thing, and at the same time, writing everything on their books or having Excel sheets is also not helping them. It's consuming a lot of time. So that's where I felt custom web applications that I can develop for them will, surely help. And I have done that for a
Mm.
couple of companies, and I've seen how much of a difference it makes. So this was time to time motivation that I had, and small static web apps, and so many things that could help change people's lives and through technology, and that I could do single handedly. That was the motivation that kept me going. And I love learning new stuff. So yeah, no, every other day we have another framework launching. So
Yeah.
it's pretty exciting. That's what keeps me going.
I absolutely love that, way of forcing things and learning from them and getting motivated. Really, it's a great thing because, for example, if I am facing any problem, I would complain that. And how cool is that if you already know how to solve the problem, you stop complaining about that and instead you start solving them.
Yeah.
And that's a great motivation, I would say, because we have technology in our hands and we have
Yes.
that experience and skill sets that we can solve these things. And I can definitely, understand how your motivation has turned around many things and pushed you in various struggles which you were in. And we can see like you have been doing great. Like 200 websites is not a small number.
Yes.
So fantastic. And also, we all know about your YouTube channel, which is like an epic one. Lots and lots of content. Would you like to tell us more about that?
Yes. So I had no plans of starting a YouTube channel even a year ago, I guess.
Hmm.
So what happened was, since I was in a maternity break and my child was about 1 year old, and I felt I had a few hours of time at hand, but not like I could take up some project because there would be deadlines. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I could really deliver them, because directly from 8 hours a day to 2 hours a day is too small. I couldn't even estimate of what I can take up. So I thought, let me try creating a course. I saw some Udemy course where I felt, this quality is not up to the mark. I can
Yeah.
definitely create something better. I thought, why not let me try? I'm not losing anything here, right? I'm putting
Mm.
my time to a good use. So that's where it started. I started creating my first course, HTML and CSS, for absolute beginners. Like even a 12-year-old kid can follow it and be able to build a complete website and even go live, right? So which is what I recently made it completely free on YouTube. But that time, because I put in a lot of efforts, I think 400 hours went in, because learning about setup, learning about audio quality, video quality, I used to write my entire script down and then read it, record my screencast separately and voiceover and multiple things like that, and all of it, imagine, at night after my kid is asleep, because
Oh,
the background noise, the neighborhood
yeah.
noise that is there here. So I had to do that night, 10 p.m. to 12 is what used to be my recording time. So I completed the entire course and put it up on Udemy,
Hmm.
and that was a very good experience. Then I got a lot of feedback that it's good, you're teaching good stuff, and I started getting some questions of, how is this done, how is that done, a lot of tips from other freelancers, a lot of questions. So my mentor suggested, why don't you start a YouTube channel, that will also let people know for free that how your teaching is. That's how people get to know, right? If you're on
Yeah.
Udemy, great, but how will people get to know about your teaching? So I said, okay, I know a lot of tips, I know a lot of tricks, I can start this channel. That's how it started. But slowly it's going to be a lot beyond just some tips and tricks. It's going to contain a lot of mini projects, crash courses, and multiple things, obviously big time inspired by Travesty Media channel. And I was thrilled when Brad Traversy himself followed me on Twitter. Because that, I look up to him, I look up to his YouTube channel of that many followers. That's where I want to reach. So I felt validated, that my content is at least somewhere, so I can get where I'm dreaming of reaching.
Definitely, that's a great point. And as well, for all of us, watching us right now, go ahead and subscribe to Shruti's channel. The link is already in the description because if I would be there at your place, I would definitely not miss all those insightful tips and tricks on HTML and CSS and many other web development tricks, right? So definitely go ahead and subscribe to our channel. And as you said, Shruti, getting the motivation from the community and when people are admiring what you're doing, when they are ready to support you, and when one gets such a kind of a support and for whatever they are doing, like you have made your part different from others, you have done something which you thought would be good for yourself, And in such scenarios, when people support you, it really becomes, very helpful and very relieving at the same time. And as you said, you had your mentors who would guide you, and they are there for guiding you in each and every step. And also, apart from that, you have been part of tech communities and other communities. What is that learning which you have got from the same, like out of your journey, maybe with your involvement with the communities or with other people in the tech? What are your life lessons which you have learned as of now?
Okay, so joining Twitter and joining Twitter tech community was a big decision I took. I remember I was on Twitter, like I've been on Twitter for last 12 years, but nothing like the last 1.5 years, maybe because I unfollowed all the people I used to follow before and one day, and I just saw all the tech people who are there because I wanted to follow more of what's happening in this field. And one huge mistake I used to do in those first 6 years was I wanted to develop everything from scratch. I had this, I don't know, Kida, you call it, right? That
Yeah.
if I have to do something, the entire code has to be mine. Yeah, of course, I've used a lot of plugins, but I would try to understand what's happening there and build everything, an entire CMS, entire e-commerce website, entire social media, everything I wanted to do from scratch using core PHP, if you can imagine. No other frameworks also. That was a big mistake. I had come across some frameworks like Laravel and Code Igniter at that point of time. I resisted learning them. I felt it would limit, rather than help me build better, I felt it
Yeah.
would limit my capabilities. That's where I was wrong. After I joined these tech communities, I have been in love with frameworks a lot more, right? I understand, and they have also grown, of course, right, in the last few years.
Mm.
And especially Laravel community is something I am very happy to be a part of. I don't know if you've heard of Larabels. That is a community, if it's for Laravel in women, I mean for
Mhm.
women in Laravel, sorry. And very happy to be part of these because they I feel you belong in that community. You can talk about your questions, you get answers, and you know what's really happening there.
Yeah.
Correct. So I would encourage all of you to join communities that are, around things what you're doing, and try to always follow people who are a little bit ahead of you, more than of course you have to engage with your peers, but somebody who's a little ahead and a little far ahead will keep pulling you all the time with them.
Correct.
You feel like you're walking along with them, or maybe on along the steps that they have walked, and that's always going to keep you motivated, inspired, and going. That's what I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Communities really play a good role in your journey. And for anyone who is starting new, if you have someone like with like-minded people, a group of like-minded people, or having solved this the same struggle which you are solving at or trying to solve, so it really becomes helpful at the same time. And definitely, joining any community, being a part of any community, or following such people who have worked on some similar things which you are currently working on really helps a lot and add value at the same moment of time. So I've also shared the YouTube channel of Shruti, the
Thank you.
link of YouTube channel in the chat. So go ahead and subscribe right away. And I can see the name of your YouTube channel is Thyrus, if I pronounce
Yes.
that correctly.
Yes.
So what is the like story behind that?
Yeah, to be very honest, it's just, I don't know if you've already figured it out. It's the anagram of my name, Shruti. So you just jumble up the letters and you get Thyrus. And, this name was again suggested by my mentor. And the moment I heard it, I felt it kind of sounds like a dinosaur. So let me just, put a cute dinosaur logo
Yeah,
for that. It somehow matched very well, and I felt it sounds great also. And there has to be some level of curiosity that you had right now, and a lot of other
yeah,
viewers had, that will help you, at least want to find out more about it. That's all there is. And apparently it means something. It means, always being, I don't know, always being, what do you call, versatile, and catching up with something new. So that's what I want to do as well. That's great. I
yeah.
looked it up, somebody else looked it up for me on Google. Meaning of Thyrus, you can also look it up. And I was like, that's great if it means something.
Yeah, so true. Like even when I first encountered your YouTube channel, Thyrus, I was wondering what does this, name mean? But when I jumble these words and put it in the right way, it stands for Shruti, and that's like something unique. I didn't even thought about it, and of course you are versatile, so definitely that's a great YouTube name as well. And like talking more about you have been, you have seen a great journey, and things have been up with, with varies. It varies like up and down, and but let's talk about present and future. What are your like future plans with respect to maybe your work or maybe your YouTube? You said you are not limiting yourself to just tips and tricks, but maybe something new is coming up as well. So maybe you want to tell something about that as well.
Yeah, okay, maybe a teaser. Currently, I'm just researching a little more about Alpine JS. Right, so
Mhm.
I might very soon, within a month, come up with a crash course or a full course. I'm yet to decide what to do on Alpine JS because I see there are not that many resources to it, though it's a very simple framework. My goal always is to bring content to somebody who's still beginning because I
Mm.
know the struggle, right?
Yeah.
I know that a lot of tech jargon exists. You go to any new framework and you're like, oh boss, what is this? A lot of
Yeah.
people just go away right there. But they fear. At least I used to be like that, so I would naturally relate to the people who are like me, that
Mm.
you need somebody to explain it to you, at least a beginning, somebody to explain it to you, like very simple. It's not what you think, it's not as difficult as you think, it's actually simple, so try it out. And then when
Yeah.
they try it out, that's okay. After that, they can read the docs, they can try something harder because they've started. It's the beginning that is the most difficult, right? Once you get the momentum, even if it's hard, you'll have the motivation to go. You feel, okay, I've come this far, let me move on now and let me get on to the complex stuff. So my goal is always going to be simplifying things and putting it in as less number of technical jargon as possible, right? To put it
Yeah.
in as much practical way and remove words like I don't know, some very complicated words that I keep seeing. I feel this can
Mm.
be replaced with this word can be replaced with something simpler, right? Something that
Yeah.
we already know. You don't have to show that you know a lot by using technical jargon in between. You can show
Definitely.
that you know a lot by actually simplifying things and helping the other person explain. So if you look at all my YouTube videos, all of them are as simple as possible. You can even see the comments that there is a, I think, 13-year-old boy who watched a video of mine on Tailwind CSS, and he said he's gone through so many other videos and this is the video that really clicked, and that's how he understood. So I feel my I'm on the right track then.
Definitely, these are like, these such type of feedback really helps us to understand. And definitely, when we talk about such jargons and hi-fi words, what I believe is when I say my peers that when you're pitching about an idea in a hackathon, try to connect with the audience, and it goes everywhere. When you're trying to tell others something, when you are trying to communicate, it really becomes important for a person to connect with the other person and get your meaning of your sentence flowing like anything. It should not be confusing, or because whenever such words comes into the picture, whenever such hi-fi or jargon comes into the picture, there comes a barrier between communication because the
Yeah.
mindset starts thinking of altogether different things.
Yeah.
So, and personally, for anyone wondering where they can start with their web dev journey, whenever they land on such a YouTube channel where everything is like done in a very simple way, where they can understand real concepts in a very efficient way, it really helps because YouTube is a big platform. There are multiple
Yeah.
videos around, but when it
Yes.
comes along with such uniqueness and such simplicity, that is a moment of time when you are able to connect with people. And I have seen this personally as well. So again, I would say go and subscribe to Shruti's channel because you would not definitely like to miss such an opportunity. And I
Thank you.
can see people, asking, telling that Thyrus is definitely innovative. Now people are trying to find something with their name too. Definitely, I guess I need to find something as well and maybe start another YouTube channel.
Yeah, maybe you'll find something great.
Let's hope for the best. All right. And as you said about different terminologies and various tips and tricks as well. But at the same time, you have been experiencing about all of this, and you have seen various approaches while working, while doing projects, while making web apps, and all about that. So, what like out of your entire journey, there might be various experiences which you have gained, various learnings, and would you like to tell any of the beginner which are starting with web dev or anything related? Would you like to share some tips and tricks right away in this channel? And I know there might be like many, but what are those go-to tips or maybe some suggestions which you would like to give so that the beginner starting with their journey in web dev might get less failures?
Right. So one major thing, I know you've heard this a lot from others as well, is do more projects, practice with more
Hmm.
projects, not just don't just watch tutorials. But I know
Hmm.
that's easier said than done, and I would like to say think of something real world, okay,
Hmm.
something that you can solve immediately. Maybe check with your cousins, check with your parents, your relatives, somebody who is elder to you in their business. Is there some problem that you can solve using web development? Yes, of course
Hmm.
it can be solved in a much better way if you knew app developer, maybe software. Okay, all that is great, but in your web
Hmm.
development journey, you might be anywhere, starting from even HTML and CSS. Can you create a website for your friend who's probably trying to sell t-shirts? I don't know. Can you create a website for somebody who has a small bakery or something like that? Right, there are people, lot of people right now starting with their own online shops and multiple things. So give, try to build something for somebody or for yourself. First think of that. Don't think of let me learn React or let me learn PHP, let me learn Vue right now. Don't think of which language or framework to learn. Just think, I want to develop this project. Look around, there
Yep.
are a lot of problems that you can solve. And the moment you get an idea, that yes, this is possible, probably you can use a lot of resources on Twitter. You can probably DM somebody and say, this is a project idea I have. Can you please tell me what frameworks or languages I could use for this? That would be a great question, rather than asking which is better to learn. Shall I learn Vue or React? Now that's too vague. We don't know why you're planning to learn that, right? But if you
Yeah.
have a project and you say, this is the idea I have, I want to do this, please tell me which are the frameworks or what are the technologies I need to learn. And
Yep.
then learn it for the project, not for the sake of the language. Don't try to learn any language completely. You cannot learn anything completely. Trust me, 10 years of CSS and I'm still learning CSS. Anybody can tell you that. As many script and they're still learning JavaScript. You know that joke. It's
Yeah.
not a joke, because that's how it is. You can't learn an entire language. So don't try to do that. Just learn along the go. Build that one project that you're thinking of. Yes, while you're doing that, you will face a lot of hurdles. You'll start feeling that this can't be done. Try to simplify it. Okay, you can't do something that big. Can you complete one module at least? Yes, that may help a
Hmm.
little. So complete that module, right? Think about an idea, or if you are not able to think about your own ideas, there are a lot of list of projects, a lot of GitHub resources as well. And if my recent Twitter tweet that I had put up, that every YouTube channel talks about to-do list application. Do
Hmm.
any of you have any other suggestion? And there are like I think some 50 replies with different suggestions of what you can build, which is simple, or some are even complicated. So what I say is, focus on one project or a few ideas and learn whatever is needed around them. That's when you will learn better. That's when you can add something to your portfolio. That's when you can get job, or if you want to work on your own, that's when you get clients as well, showing what you've done, rather than saying I've completed this tutorial and this course. That's not going to help, right? That's what I would like to, one big piece of advice maybe.
Definitely, that's really a great advice because I personally have seen my peers, for example, they have started doing some online courses. What they usually do is, they start clicking on that next button again and again without actually even going through the entire course and,
Yeah.
doing those tasks, performing some practicals, and making the project at the end of the day really. But these all things are skipped, and where the focus is shift on is, getting the certification and portraying the same on there, maybe anywhere on their social
Right.
media. And this is something which they really need to understand. The theory will definitely not help you in the long run.
Not all.
Making projects, implementing your ideas, whatever you are doing, just try implementing that. And that is when you will encounter various other errors which you might have not studied in any of the course, right?
Yes.
And when you'll go through that errors, try searching online, Stack Overflow, your mentors, experienced peers. At that moment of time, you will gain some valuable experience, like
Yes.
which will be there for you, with yourself for your lifetime. And you'll remember, I performed this task
Yeah.
and I failed here. I tried to solve in this many way. I can't find this anything of this in any of course, and I have prepared one course for you. And such a mindset really
Yes.
helps in the long run. So
Yes.
definitely hats off to you, Shruti, for that.
Thank you.
And I can see Narendra's comment over here. Let me just bring that up. Shruti, you are my inspiration to create content for people. And seeing you, people have started creating their own YouTube channels. So
That's
that's a great
amazing.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can see Prathamesh advising right over here that my names can be hard, just something which sounds like a artist. So that's creative.
Yeah.
I haven't thought about that, but definitely it's like the reverse of my name. But maybe we can jumble a few words and come up with some better as well.
Yeah.
And I can see few questions as well in the live chat. But before going to that question, I do have one question from mine, and that is like, as you know, that I'm quite active with hackathons and communities. So I wanted to know your perspective around the hackathons, like what actually a hackathon is for you. What do you think it's better for many people out there to start their journey with web development?
Yeah, so that you're actually doing a great job. Like I said, if I was where you are in my third year, then I don't know where I would be right now. It's a way of starting very early, and hackathons is where you will see people your age and somebody from your background, and it's hands-on experience, right? That is,
Hmm.
I think, extremely important, and there's actually nothing better than that. It's is the name itself suggests hackathon, so you're hacking the growth right there, right? You're trying to go beyond your comfort zone. You're trying to build something you don't have much idea before. And
Hmm.
as to be very honest, I've never participated in one. I wish I had, but I've heard from other people and I know how much it helps. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, but in a way, in my own journey, I have been on hackathons because I have been provided with crazy ideas to work on and with deadlines like, in 2 days. So that way, my mentor
Yeah.
has always kept me on toes, saying that, can you develop this in 2 days? Suddenly, he would walk in, into the office and say, I've got a great idea. This is going to work. So you have a deadline, you have 2 days. I would be like, what? Is this even possible? So
Yeah.
that I can clearly see that those were the phases I really grew. So I greatly recommend this. I encourage you to participate in this, and you'll never regret. You'll always look back. Sometimes you might feel like you were not able to achieve, but at least you know the reality. You know where you stand and what
Yeah.
is required. Don't consider it as a failure, even if you couldn't complete something or you felt something was lacking. Take it as a opportunity to grow and get better. I would like to say that.
Definitely, that's like on point everything which you shared, and it's just that unless and until you won't come out of your comfort zone, how would you
Yeah.
realize what's your capability, how far you can push yourself? And hackathons are like best place to test yourself, to know
Yes.
where you can push yourself till, and what are the things which you will actually face while working on a project. And definitely that's a great way to kickstart your journey with
Yeah.
any programming language, or maybe framework, or maybe even non-coding skills as well. So definitely go
Yes.
and
Yes.
participate in the hackathon. And I can see one question from Prathamesh in the live chat. It's like, since Shruti said she used to code every day, so did you face burnout, or face times when you felt like taking a huge break?
Okay. Not much, to be very honest, because I don't know. I felt very crazy about my work. Maybe people around me felt I needed a break, but I never felt that way. I don't know, I just felt like I could do it all, all over and all the time. No sleep, no eating, I could just go on. But definitely I
Yeah.
couldn't do that, right? Maybe that's why I didn't face a burnout, because uh, i I got married, and then I had a life which I had to anyway give time to. So I had only so much time in my day where I could do it, and that was how I coded every day. But yeah, if you're talking about those 9 months, while I was at my day job plus doing this, I
Hmm.
didn't face a burnout as such, because I made sure that I slept this much in an entire week. I
Hmm.
otherwise would get headaches, and that's not healthy, right? So whenever I used to get a
Correct.
headache, I would, slow down a little, probably take enough rest, take enough, break, and then get back to it. Maybe I didn't reach an extent where I felt like, oh my God, this is it.
Yeah.
I kept taking care every now and then, because I knew that, I would reach a limit and I would be like, oh, no, 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 this is not going in the right direction. Let me, take some time, take some care. Maybe that's why I didn't face a very huge burnout. That's
Yeah.
probably an advice I would like to give also. If at the slightest signs of dip in your health, please take care. Even your mental health, that's even harder to recognize of what's happening. So if you're feeling depressed quite often than before, just watch exactly what is happening. Take a little break, I would suggest, from social media, of course, and then look inside and see what's exactly happening. Are you heading in the direction where you want to be, or are you heading in the direction probably following someone, trying to be someone else, trying to reach somewhere without really knowing is that where you want to get, right? So that's what I would like to suggest.
That's so true. Giving yourself the time which you deserve is something which many people, forgets or
Yeah,
neglects, and that is something really one should do. Pondering upon the things which you have thought and which you actually are doing, and
yeah,
great point. Not to follow someone. I always
yeah.
say this thing that get inspired from people, but not to follow them at the same time. So
Yes,
that's a great
exactly.
advice. I can see one more question from Arjun, which asks like, do you work in React?
Okay, no, I'm not a React developer, but a little bit of Vue is something I've learned, and I'm still learning on the way. And Alpine JS, like I just mentioned, no React yet.
Yeah, and as you said, you are still learning. I forgot to mention earlier that, as you said, you have been working with CSS since quite a long time now, and you're still learning. So that's the thing. Learning has no age. As you
Yes,
experience your life, you will experience many other things altogether while you're working as well. So definitely keep on
yeah,
learning. Do not have that mindset that you will complete this language. Language is not a course
exactly,
which you'll complete. So
exactly.
definitely remove that mindset. And I can see one more question from Arjun. He's asking, what are your thoughts on Jamstack?
Okay, like I said before, every stack, every technology, every framework is meant for something, right? It's meant to simplify some part of some project, right? So Jamstack is great, but you need to know why you're learning it. Is it
Hmm.
because you want to build something that's on your mind, or is it because that's trending, or is it because you see more jobs around that are the requirements are Jamstack? So your goal is more important than the technology. You see why it is that you're wanting to learn. So like you just asked about React, I think you're
Hmm.
seeing these terms a lot more on Twitter or probably anywhere, and you're thinking, okay, let me learn this. Like I said
Hmm.
before, that's not the best way to go about it. The best way is think where you want to reach. Is it that you want to get a high paying job, or do you really want to be a part of a very trending technology which might not last, which might
Hmm.
just not really be a trending? Of course it won't be trending after 2 3 5 years. Maybe it'll still be a very great one, but it won't be trending, because trend is what that keeps changing, right? So first
Correct.
think about why you want to learn it, then research about, is it good for that goal of yours? Okay,
Hmm.
break down that goal and see. So if your idea is that you want to land a great job, then check out the job requirements in the area around you, or the if you have a dream job, check out the open positions, check out what technologies they are requesting, and that's how you go. It's like reverse engineering. See where you want to reach, then break it down, and then see how to start with that.
Definitely, that's a valid point. Unless and until you won't, find your one interest, you'll be able to not go, so far with the same. And it really becomes
Yeah,
important for a person to understand what they actually want to do, follow their passion, or maybe just follow some group of people. So this is the time, like what I believe is right, that currently I'm in my college, and for me, the entire time which I have to experiment is the college time. I can do as many as experimentation I want,
Yes.
because after I graduate, I won't be able to experiment with that level of risk, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is kind of a mindset which I am having. I try to explore each and everything. I try to see if I get interest into that or not. If yes, I would continue that thing. If no, I would definitely.
Yes. Yes.
So definitely, you can go ahead with this advice as well, and that's a wonderful thing to do. And I can't see any more. Maybe we can end this Hack It With It episode 2 right away. But before that, do we have any ending notes, Shruti, from you?
Nothing in particular. I've covered everything, but completely off the topic. I'd really all of you are safe right now, considering the situation. I
Yep.
don't know why the peak is so much more than last time. We were so much careful. I think all of us have let a little loose. If somewhere I think been like it's okay, it's not going to be
Yeah.
so bad, and trying to move out, but please be careful. I'm hearing too many covid cases around, and this thing is real, and you won't realize unless you get it. So please stay home and stay safe, and we'll get through this, right? So until we get through
Yeah.
this, please stay indoors. And if even if you're not directly affecting yourself, you're affecting somebody else without your knowledge, that you might be asymptomatic, but you might pass it on to somebody who's critical. So please, if for yourself and for the safety of people around you, be careful, stay home. I pray that this all of this ends soon and we can continue with our normal lives as soon as
Yeah.
possible.
Definitely. See, now is the time when no one is already know what is actually happening, what
Yeah.
needs to be done. Everyone is aware, and control yourself, help others out there more and more, and just
Yes.
spread the positivity and help people as much as you can, and take care of your loved ones, stay inside, basic things you need to do. Nothing, will definitely go come out of this soon. Let's hope for the best. And before ending the channel, follow her on Twitter, the Siddharth_hacks, and don't forget to take a quick snap via your social media. Tweet what were the best three things which you learned out of this live stream, so that people who live stream may also learn from your tweet. And as well, thanks everyone for joining. Take care, and we'll end this live stream right away.
Yeah, thank you
Bye
so
bye.
much. Bye everyone.